So I'm in a arguably sort of touristy area, kind of. It's an area where people that don't live around here come. So that includes Gracie and I. Speaking of which, greetings and aloha, what's going on? It's Mike's.
Gracie.
From livemyassoff.com. .somerville.awesome. And we're in Scituate. And if you know of any, if you're aware of this part of the world, then you know how to spell that. But if not, it'll probably be in the, I probably put it in the title of this video. Anyway, this is Scituate Lighthouse, where we're at. This is that thing over there. This is Dad's epic Accord. And of course, today is Wacky Wednesday, as it was last Wednesday, and so therefore for $8, we went and got it washed. So that was fun. But anyway, I wanted to show this to you because this is, I mean, this is ridiculously New England. And this is where I grew up, and this is how I grew up, and this is what I would do in the summers, and this is what I would do in the winters. I would just drive here and come here. And of course, in 2022, this has got a pretty amazing parking lot that is fully landscaped, which was not the case when I was a young boy. But one of the greatest things about coming back here in the summer, not the least of which is the weather, but is, you know, the memories, right? But also the history that occurred. I mean, Boston, Philadelphia, I mean, those two cities are fairly important as far as like where the country started, at least where the signatures were done. Obviously, they like to credit Plymouth for where they started it, but anyway, so as an example of that, I will pan this, and you can stop or pause it in any way you want, which should give you the ability to have a little bit of history. But at the end of the day, in 1976, this was 340 years old, this lighthouse, and it's still it's still a lighthouse. It's not manned, as pretty much every lighthouse is not any longer. But rather than watch me, the lighthouse grounds are kept private for the safety of all visitors. So that's sort of a very politically correct way of saying no. And so then they will have, you know, various sort of moments in history that they highlight. Usually they're disasters, unfortunately. Oh wow, and someone left their key here. What does that say? It says Panco, P-A-N-C-O, Norfolk Hardware. Well, I bet you this is the key to somebody's house that's nearby, but this is one of these areas in the world, similar to where we live in Thailand, that is ridiculously safe. So even if that is someone's house key back there, I'm pretty certain that no one's going to grab it and try every single house and try and steal stuff. So, yeah, it's a constant nice memory coming back here. So again, especially in the summer, because I've just amazing memories, and I struggle, quite frankly, with trying to find the scenarios where I can provide Euryce with the opportunity for such memories. But Joe, let's get real clear where I'm walking. All the way out there, because I can. And until I touch it, let's start by touching it. Okay. Now, we find out how far to go before it counts. That's Mrs. Somerville. Aloha. Not literally, I suppose. We need to figure that out. But for right now, she's going to keep her last name. I had no idea how much of a pain in the ass it is to do anything legal in the Philippines. So anyway, her having the same last name makes it just life a little easier. But the other great memory I have of my childhood is a 13-foot whaler, which I've probably shared on other videos. And as we were driving here, there was one guy, and he had one parked on the side of his house. And oh, here's a damaged lobster pot. I believe I showed you a picture of one of those when we were at World's End. So anyway, I love walking here on giant rocks like this. And but listen to that. I mean, that's just, oh, you know what? Okay, so they're going out there, which means I'm gonna go out there. Gracie immediately agrees with me. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go. Let's go.
I just have a quick live.
You're going live?
Live right now?
No, I'm just recording. So you're live?
I'm just live for
On the 4G Plus?
yeah, so we're just gonna look in here.
If you guys aren't subscribed to Gracie on Facebook, I will tell you that it's a great opportunity to see. She does a lot of live streams on Facebook, so I don't think she has. I was gonna say I don't think she has 1,000 subscribers, but then I also thought to myself that I don't think you need 1,000 subscribers to go live via the mobile app. Maybe you only need
1,000 followers, 1,000.
You need 500, right?
1,100 followers.
What you have
Follower in Facebook.
on Facebook? Well, what about YouTube?
Oh, it's deducting because I haven't, you know.
Oh, done. Okay.
Yeah, it's deducting, so I'm tired of doing the thing.
Got it.
What is this? What lightning? Where are we?
This is Scituate.
Scituate.
Scituate, yeah, and it's spelled S-C-I-T-U.
I want to
Okay, yeah. Scituate, basically, is how you thank the Native Americans.
That's for the camera.
Sorry? Yeah, for someone's lens. And I'll assume that this is in fine shape, so hopefully whoever... Hello, anybody with a camera? Maybe they'll come back for it. I would submit that something the size of your hand, you would know you lost, but anyway, who knows? If you're so into the art, you probably forget that. Anyway, back to my childhood. So you see those boats over there? That's all those small little white boats are likely part of either a sailing club or the local yacht club. And just so you know, like there are like 4 yacht clubs. There's Scituate, oh, and then there's a boat over there that's, I believe, upside down. That they're maybe trying to fix. There's Scituate Harbor Yacht Club. There is Scituate, I believe it's not even called a yacht club. I believe it's called Scituate Boat Club. Anyway, I invite you to Google this little area. Go on maps and then do some Google earthing. And I'll tell you, one thing I really wish occurred with this GoPro would be a zoom lens. And obviously, I'm sure I can get a third-party attachment, plop it on, and then blam. But the reason I bring that up right now is that seagull out there, which I really associate those birds with New England. It just flew up about 10 or 20 feet in the air and then dropped its shell that it is trying to use gravity to help open so it can eat the insides of it. Because vacationers in New England aren't the only ones that like clams. She is getting... Oh, I was really hoping that wouldn't fall over, nor will I lose my hat. So I haven't lost my hat, but I can. It's quite windy. But this is this is also another great way to grow up, I gotta tell you. On the water, quite frankly, but also sailing, and then doing some fun little competitions of sailing. And then the motorboat that they have out there, of course, it's a Boston whaler. And that is the Atlantic, ladies and gentlemen. The minute on this side of Massachusetts, Scituate Harbor, Duxbury. Basically, when you head east, you head into the Atlantic. So for me, the boating over here isn't as entertaining. It isn't as pleasurable as it is in the Boston Harbor area, basically. So Quincy Bay, Hingham Harbor, maybe even around to Cohasset, but also Hull for sure, the west side of Hull, versus the east side of Hull, which is called Nantasket. And Nantasket Beach is, again, you head east from Nantasket, you're in the Atlantic. And that's one of the things I didn't really like about boating in San Diego. It was, you know, it's the Pacific. Whereas, you know, Boston Harbor is great, bunch of little islands. And I don't know, guys, I'm still like seconds and inches away from buying a used boat. I found one on Craigslist today. It's free. Hasn't been running since November of 2021, but I believe it is a, well, I'll look right now and I'll talk it. I'll put the link in here, but you know, like a lot of things, Craigslist, right? I mean, the minute they're sort of, the minute it's over, I'm trying to see if they say how long it is. But I would say it's probably a 30-foot Wellcraft from 1988, but it's free. And it's up in Chelsea. So I could go up there and somehow get it down here, and I'm sure it says it hasn't been running, I think I missed it, hasn't been running since November 2021, so I'm pretty sure the engine is shot and the transmission and the outdrive is probably DUN done. So that probably needs some fixing up. So I'm quite sure that taking ownership of it is free, but making use of it is probably many $1,000s. And this is kind of cool. Oh, dude, I mean, that is a fort waiting to happen right there. And all right, I'm at the end, but I'm gonna touch it just now, Joe. But I'm gonna go all the way around here. At the risk of great personal harm, actually, for the benefit of, well, of Joe. And the good news is that these rocks that do in fact get wet during high tide, stand by, are not slippery right now. Now, I know I'm gonna get up, and the goal is to get up and not hit my head on this. So let me grab this. It's a giant handle, and look at me. Now I suppose if I was quite adventurous, then past that seaweed, that would be what I need to touch. But I think we're all gonna agree that that one there, it's kind of sticking out. We're gonna refer to that as what's known as good enough. Although, I kind of like these over here. These are looking kind of cool. But, I don't know, we'll see. Adventure. Adventure, right? Educational adventure. Adventure. How come they don't call it adventure? I suppose you add to your life, and so therefore it's adventure. I get it. But I like adventure. I will tell you, though. Oh, man, these barns. Oh, this is awesome. I mean, this is like having... I'm like Spider-Man on this stuff. I can like, oh my God, I mean that's fantastic. Well, that's gonna make going down here super easy, isn't it? He said, hopefully. Yeah, no, not slippery at all. Obviously this, yes, it's like ice. But here we go, Joe. I touched it, so it counts. Tell you what I'm even gonna do. How's that, buddy? Wish you were here. Wish you and your grandson were here. Oh my God. They'd love this. Well, I think they would love this. There we go, right there. She's hanging out through the fort. So that used to be one of my more favorite kind of boats there, basically a trawler. That would be my life at about 12 knots. But very seaworthy, and not speed but function. Way in the distance there, you can see another 13-foot Boston whaler. Those things are just freaking spectacular. And oh wow, look at that. You're living the dream up there. That's like a, wow, that's like a princess wave. I should take your picture there? All right, stand by.